Century Ride. I'm Kelly Patchett, and as of this week, our new channel has been live for almost 7 days. You know, you think you're just going to turn on a camera and start rolling, but there's so much more to it than that. Anyways, huge shout out today to our friends and family who have given us so much support since we launched it. Thank you all so much. And a special shout out to CF Lee 3, our first subscriber who we don't know. Welcome aboard. Thanks everybody. So, just thought I'd give you a little update what it's like to be 55 and decide you want to be a YouTuber.
Sure, Jan.
Since we launched, my good friend Anna texted me, shared it with her followers, such a nice thing to do. But she said to me, hey Kelly, just so you know, I'm all in on this blend of cycling and longevity, but if you think I'm going to be strapping on knee pads and going mountain biking, you're sadly going to be disappointed. And of course, I don't expect anybody, particularly women, to be deciding that they're mountain bikers, whether they're in their 40s or their 50s or 60s now. Don't let me dissuade you from that, because I think it's the best sport ever invented. But, you know, statistically speaking, it's not likely. But that's okay, because Anna is getting into climbing. And my dear friend Howard runs more marathons in his mid-60s than most people I know in their 30s. This channel is really about leveraging your workouts and maybe a sport. Because I think if you could start to think in terms of a sport you love, then things that are workouts, things that you gotta do, become things that you love to do. And so we definitely want to encourage people to really take stock of your fitness at this point in your life. 1 week in, and 3 videos posted so far, my commitment to self, mine and Glenn's, my husband and partner, has been, okay, we're gonna post a video every week. So see if you can identify with this. For me, you know, having owned a marketing agency for 25 years, I just feel like every video needs 3 weeks of research, a week of shooting, 2 weeks of editing. Well, I don't know, I think I've got to let that perfectionism go at this point. I really tap into the fun of what we do on our bikes to inspire you to maybe want to try the same thing. So here I am trying something totally new and sharing one of my workout rides with you. I'm not mountain biking, as you can see. I'm riding along Lake Ontario and on the bike path. And this is one of my easy ways to rip off 60 to 90 minutes of exercise. And today I am training in zone 2. And this idea, what is zone 2? Well, that's the heart rate zone I'm in right now. And we're going to talk about that on our channel, because the most amazing and hopefully motivational thing I could tell you is that zone 2 is easy. As you can see, I'm talking to you. I don't sound too breathy, I think. It is just that easy, sweet spot where you're getting exercise. And what you're gonna find is that you could go for a long, long time in this easy zone. But the best news is, if you've just woken up and like me, you're 55, and you're thinking, I'm not getting enough cardio, or I don't get any cardio, then the great news is that so many of your workouts will be in this wonderful, relaxing, easy zone 2. And this is where you build up your endurance. Because on day 1, I'll bet you any money you could do 20 minutes in zone 2 if you haven't been doing anything. Very soon you're gonna find I could do 60 minutes. I could do 90 minutes. Because really zone 2, without too much effort, is an effort that you could do all day long, really. So we're going to talk more about that and how to figure out what your zone 2 is. But I just wanted to tell you, if you've sort of reached that middle age and you feel like you're not that fit, that the path to that is way easier than you think it is. That's one thing that we're going to do. Another thing we want to do on Century Ride is really talk about the second half of life, because I think people get depressed when they hit, some people when they hit 40, some people in their 50s, or all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm in my 60s, how did that happen? But in reality, you could have 30 or 40 good years ahead of you. So what we really want to focus on together and go on this path together is, how do we become really intentional about what the second half of life looks like? Because it's too easy to let life happen to you. So I've sort of had that kind of a year, my epiphany year. What do I want? Do I still want to run my agency? Am I over my client years? Do I want to do something else? So do I want to retire? I do not. I need to have something to do, but I think I want to be a creator now. And I want to inspire other people to get super intentional about, you know, what their 50s look like, what their 60s look like, and really importantly, what their 80s look like. Because as Dr. Peter Attia, pretty much the foremost longevity doctor around right now, will say, you've got to sort of imagine specifically what you want life to be like in your 80s, and what he calls backcast to now. So he gives the example, I want to be able to hold my grandchildren, pick them up off the ground, play with them, right up to 90 years old. I want to be able to climb 3 stairs with 10 pounds of groceries in my hands. Those are examples he's given. You need to think about what's important to you, and then start doing the things today to ensure that the last 10 or 15 years aren't horrible, because unfortunately they can be. And I think a lot of us see that in the people we love around us. So I just happen to think that the Gen X people, the boomers, I think that we're going to be the generation that shows the youngsters behind us how great aging can be and how meaningful and full our lives can be. And that's really what the channel's all about. So I hope that you would love to go on this ride with us and get fit, be strong, but also really dig deep and figure out, what do I really want out of life now? What kind of skills do I have? You know, is my career still lighting me up? Or am I gonna go all the way to like 70 years old doing something I really don't like doing anymore? Okay, what can I do with the skills I have? And, you know, whether it's to make more money, and let's face it, many of us will need to do that. Or is it philanthropic or volunteer? I have all these skills. Maybe you're a lawyer and you don't want to retire, but you're kind of done with the law. Maybe you're going to apply that to an amazing charity, or you're going to drive people to the hospital from your small town. So really, it's all these areas of having amazing life to the end and not buying in to the BS of aging. Oh, I just turned 60. I can't do that. I can't get on a bike. I might fall. Because that's bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. Oh, I promised my mother I would not swear on this channel. Oh, I've just let her down already. Almost halfway through our easy Zone 2 ride today. Really just gonna do an hour and 10 minutes. And if that sounds like a lot, again, it's totally doable. You're gonna laugh when you find out how achievable this is. So, this is Lake Ontario, and we've just come from, there's the CN Tower, that big tower. We've come from the other side of that today and come around here, and all that way has taken us just over a half an hour. You could go so far on a bike, and I'm today on a mountain bike. So if I were on a gravel bike or a road bike, oh, I'd be way further by now. All right, let's keep going. Is that Miami? The water hitting the rocks? Nope. That's Toronto, folks. I'll prove it to you come January. So let me leave you with this thought. I think quite often we feel like, and I feel like this sometimes, we feel like, oh, I gotta work out today. But you know, look at today's ride. I'm seeing the lake, I'm seeing trees, I'm seeing happy people. Today's workout is my reward today. It's not the thing that I've gotta fit in. And so I think if we could flip the script on the way that we think about our workouts, and maybe that means doing things that light you up a bit more in terms of the way you get your fitness. But I want to tell you something. If you haven't seen our very first welcome video, I encourage you to watch that, because in that video I say somewhere around 50 there is a flip of a switch, and our new default is decay. But again, you can flip that switch the other way and continue to grow, but it takes, you know, it takes, most days are workout days. That's just the way it is. So what I want to know from you in the comments is, what does your fitness life look like? Is it structured? Do you know what you're doing each week? Or is it sort of random acts of fitness or nothing at all? I'm really curious, because if we're going to go on this journey together, we want to get to a place where, you know, we go into our 80s in a whole new way. Anyways, thanks for riding with me today. See you next time.